Hi, folks. Can anyone hear me?
Okay, these are endings. Welcome, welcome.
Awesome, great. Good evening, everyone. I am still on the road. Sorry if you hear some background noise, but I just thought to quickly chip in and say a few words as regarding the theme for today, which is the future of students in DeSci. So, as you may have observed, one core area where we are focusing at DeSci Nigeria is particularly students, because if you look at Africa and then you look at Nigeria and you observe the highest number of population where we have young, bright minds, it's our tertiary institutions, right? And if we are going to build, if we are going to innovate, if we are going to leapfrog and advance ourselves as a people across, you know, looking at solutions that affect us in health, in history, in academics, and looking at how we can make our processes better, we have to really, really dig into some of the things ourselves. But what I would particularly say to students is that, as we all know, that CI space is still very, very young, right? What I would just say is that ensure that your proof of work, which is, and for particularly for students in the university, there is a compulsory final year project that you're meant to do, right? Ensure that that is something that you're proud on. I know the state, and categorically, we all know the state at which some of these projects are. Most people don't get to work on projects that they like. Even if they work on projects that they like, they, you know, or other contending parties, maybe the supervisor or maybe whoever, right? But my advice is that whether or not that happens, try as much as possible to have that as your ultimate proof of work. Because once you graduate, it may be very, very difficult to set out to do an independent research on your own if you are not going in the academia route. May be very, very difficult. Other areas that you might now contribute is maybe with your skills, or yeah, maybe with your, majorly with your skills. But the school environment, the university environment provides you the best avenue to really, really go all in for any research area across any discipline that you're working in. As you know that on our repository at DeSci Nigeria, we are discipline agnostic. So whatever discipline you're working on, sciences, uh, the social sciences, the arts and humanities, right? You would always still have a ready place where you can fetch your paper, where you can fetch your findings, right? And then you can now build upon it as the space continues to mature. So if you have things of intellectual property that you feel like, oh, you don't want to keep open access, you feel like that needs to be protected, right? Fine, you're free to leave that part, share the portion that at least still makes the public know that, oh, a research area is going on in this initiative, and particularly contextual to maybe Africa or maybe Nigeria, or maybe you're looking into some. The thing is that what most of us do not recognize is that we have solutions that the world needs. Like most of our plants and herbs and natural products. So I was just discussing with some partners last week about some research that they are currently doing on beta cola, right? And beta cola is something that we just see every now and then, we take for granted. I mean, it's on the streets, it's in the areas, it's everywhere around us, and we don't see it as something valuable. And there are some people out there that are actually interested in the molecular structures, the health benefits that you bring, and looking at packaging it and publishing it. So yeah, just to keep my thing brief, if you are working on any discipline across, for your final year project, if you are still particularly in school, right, ensure that that is very, very excellent and you deliver on it, because that is what you're going to leverage as the space continues to mature. And as all of these efforts that we're pulling together, DeSci Africa, DeSci Nigeria, and all the other players in the space, the educators, as these efforts begin to converge into a coherent movement, that is what you will be able to leverage on. And doing that now just gives you a head start. So yes, thank you very much. Sorry about the background noise. I just thought to quickly share that. And yeah, good luck to everybody.
Thank you so much, DeSci NG.